Hi, Novak. I don't know if you saw what Vasek said last night about organising, and tennis could and should be even bigger than it already is, if only the people organising it were doing their job properly. He highlighted the balls, he highlighted playing late at night and then early in the morning and injuries. I just wondered whether you heard that, but also if you'd like to add something.
No, I haven't heard that. I actually saw Vasek just before I came here to see you guys, but I haven't seen his statement on that. But there's been a lot of discussions on the effect of the different balls and basically every week on the joints and the wrist and the shoulders and the elbows. And I think someone told me that in terms of injuries this year comparing to other years is drastically has gone up. So in terms of the balls, I absolutely agree. There should be some discussion on that. I actually spoke about that with Andrea Gaudenzi, the ATP president, and Massimo, who's the CEO, in Paris during the Paris-Bercy week. And I shared my opinion and my views, and then obviously they are thinking about various different options and ways of how to regulate that and how to make it better for the players and prevent injuries. In terms of the scheduling, I think there has been a lot of criticism and a lot of players complaining about it. So I think that should be addressed in a proper way. Obviously, Davis Cup and ITF is regulated differently from ATP Tour and from Grand Slams. You have different governing bodies, different schedules, different broadcasting demands. In the end of the day, we know that the TV is the one deciding, fortunately or unfortunately, but there has to be more, I guess, thorough discussions on that as well.
Hey, thanks for taking the time to, well, you haven't got any choice, actually. I'm just talking at you, if you like. But I'm here also to present to you why I think it's not a bad idea and not that expensive as well if you become a member. And this is how you can do it, and this is what you can gain. So if we look here at the Talking Tennis sort of home page, if you like, on YouTube, we can see this little button here which says join. It is also pinned in the live chat as well, and you can also, I think, see it just below most of our videos, certainly the live ones and so on. Now, why is it a good idea to join and become a member? Well, in the live chat, you can add little funny things, you can add emojis and all sorts of things, but possibly more importantly, you can get to access some live videos, such as this one here, where we look back on the last sort of few moments from the Billie Jean King Cup. So there are little bonuses such as this one, but there are many, many more. And in fact, if we have a quick look at all of the members only stuff, I repeat, you will see very, very quickly some of the top stuff that we've had for members only over the last 12 months since the channel began. Remember, these videos are for members only. You can become a member from as little as about $2 a month, €2 a month, £2 a month, something like that. There are various different things. Oh, and by the way, you'll also be supporting the channel. So it's a win, 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 win scenario. Let me just show you some of the members only stuff. For example, we've got an exclusive little clip there talking to Laura Siegmund, Laura Tsurenko, her encore interview, some doubles footage there from Monastir, the Germany press conference pre-tournament Billie Jean King Cup, Claire Burrell talking as well to the media in her press conference in Monastir, Storm Hunter and Alicia Parks interview, Rebecca Masarova, her press conference, Coco Golf, exclusive for members only, albeit it was in Madrid. But these are just some of the things, some of the interviews and etc. Like Lestien here, a chat with him, Emma Navarro, and so on and so forth. So many little bonus videos available for just €2 a month. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member. Or don't. It's okay.
Ready? Play.
Aussie flag there.
My name's John.
John.
Yeah, I'm recording this now. It's not live, so I'll edit it later. But hopefully, it won't need too much editing because your English is, just going to come out. How many beers have you had, by the way?
On to me 14th, I think.
14? By the way, so these guys are Australian, if you didn't know that already. Max Purcell here, by the way.
Yep.
But I don't know how professional this is, but I guess if you're not playing at the moment, then...
Yeah, it's just a bit of a warm-up, you never know when you're going to get called up.
That's the thing, I mean, you might, if there's an injury to Di Minore right now, you might have to play doubles later.
I actually play better on the beers, to be honest.
Okay, yeah.
A bit like golf.
Okay, so you're good at golf and you're good at tennis after beer. Is there anything you're worse at after beer? We've got an audience that may include kids, by the way. So.
Yeah, okay, that's great advice. Yeah, probably getting a taxi home is a bit difficult.
That's tricky, yeah. Right, yeah, okay. So tell us, where are you from?
Wagga Wagga, a place called 5 hours from Sydney.
I'm glad you told us where it was. I mean, I've got people in Poland, I've got people in the US, I've got people in the UK, Germany, Latin America. I'm guessing they don't know where.
Very Wagga Wagga, very country town. We're a long way from home.
So when did you arrive here in Malaga?
We got here on Sunday. Unbeknown, the Davis Cup was on, so we just booked a couple of last-minute tickets.
I've just thought of something. You said there's some things or lots of things you're better at. Maybe you're worse after beer at buying tickets to watch Australia at the Davis Cup.
So, yes, 100%. We actually booked Finland tickets, and turns out they were yesterday.
Yeah. So you didn't even come yesterday?
No. We actually booked the wrong day, so yeah, we had to buy extra tickets.
I mean, I find it a bit confusing sometimes. But so actually, you had tickets for the 21st of November to watch Finland, and you're here on the 22nd of November to watch Australia.
And we're only coming to Malaga for 3 days, so we're actually jetting off to Seville, or training to...
Jetting off? It's only 2 hours by car.
Yeah, sorry.
Have you got your own jet?
Jetting on a car, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then we thought, we may as well stay and come to the Davis Cup, so we booked an extra 3 days.
Fair enough. And are you enjoying it so far?
Oh yeah, loving it. Like Malaga itself, it's a bloody good city. We didn't realise how good the beach life was, so hence booking another 3 days.
I spoke to Leighton Hewitt a few days ago at a press conference. He's pretty serious, and he's very serious about Davis Cup. He's like, listen, I'm here to win the Davis Cup, and nothing else. How is he received I like him, by the way, but how is he received? Is he still like a big hero in Australia?
He is. He used to get on the beers before he played a game, so that's how he won most of his cup titles. But no, he's
probably the main draw card for us coming just to watch Leighton.
Hopefully he has a few beers, steals someone's rackets, gets on the courts and shows how it's done.
Didn't he go out with someone on Home and Away or Neighbours or something, one of the soap operas? Don't know if they're still together anymore.
Should know this.
Lara Bingle.
I mean, again, I don't know if she's known outside of Australia, but in the UK she'll be known because we used to binge watch like Neighbours and all that stuff. But it doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. This is not really very Tennessee, this conversation now. By the way.
Look, Neighbours is a show that people watch, but at the same time they wish they didn't watch because it's not that great.
Yeah, it's sort of a sense of regret after every episode, yeah. Anyway, let's go for one final thing about the tennis anyway. We've got Di Minore in action right now. Earlier we had Jordan Thompson losing, so there's a lot of pressure on Di Minore to deliver. Has Di Minore lost the first set, by the way? Do we have a cell phone that can suddenly tell us that?
Wasn't looking good.
He got broken.
And he's down 1-0, I think. Yeah, he is down 1-0. So Australia are 1 set away from going out, and you might be watching Finland against Czech Republic on Friday.
Maybe we'll still come for a look.
We'll put our Finnish colours on and hope for the best.
I mean, listen, it's a long way to go, yeah, and Di Minore might win this match.
We love a comeback.
Good. All right, big thanks to you. What are your names, by the way? Beginning of an interview. But anyway, so Charlie from
Wagga Wagga.
Wagga Wagga.
Patrick from Wagga Wagga.
Zach from Wagga Wagga.
Right, not Purcell then. You had me. All right, cool. Thanks very much.
Right, thanks, mate.
Ready. Play.
Hey guys, so this is going to be a watch along, of course, of Fies and Nardi. I see Mario. Actually, you've got this sort of themed headphones because you kind of look like the players and the coaches when they have these on-court coaching,
Yeah.
coaching thing, like the I don't know how to call it. They communicated in the previous editions, at least, with their coaches via
Yeah.
via these headpieces, headsets. So yeah, good choice for today.
No, yeah, the match I think it's already starting because I think we have no warm up.
Yep.
This is nothing really new because we had the warm up last year, but it was just 1 minute. So, but yeah, this is one of the, let's say, new things brought. Also, I'm watching where the Layani is positioned. The Empire is
Yeah.
a little bit lower than usual. Yeah, what to say? I usually enjoy this tournament. I also like the fact that the eligible player who are already established ATP Tour players choose to not come, because it's also, in my opinion, a chance for us this tournament to watch on let's say quite big stage some players who are a bit new to the main tour. So I, even if some of them we already knew them, Fields has already an ATP title, but it's always, in my opinion, and quite a nice week. I usually enjoy watching this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's one of my favorites. Not probably not directed at me because I've seen all of these guys like a billion times, but yeah, I love the fact that they're getting more spotlight, more money as well. Although you could argue that the guys that usually come into the next gen finals, they are probably well positioned financially already. You could argue that. I think all of these, that they're probably not really playing here. Like, the money isn't the top priority, let's say, but it's certainly a huge chance for them in that sense as well, to just have a better start in the 2024 campaign. Most of them are so young that they still get really good sponsorships and other offers as well. But yeah, the exciting format. I mean, Molayani was explaining them like for like a whole minute. It felt like. I mean, he had to explain the format to Fields and Nardi. Nardi kind of looked like some of the stuff he heard. He heard for the first time. Honestly, Fields was more like just normal, get along with it. Yeah, let's see. I mean, the first edition in Jeddah, I've heard some info that the court is supposed to be slower than in Milan. We'll see about that. I mean, so far the first few points I can't really get that. I mean, the serve from Fields just now, it actually looked like it bounced very, very quickly. Of course, electronic line calling, we now see a close call. We actually didn't get to see it on my screen, but
yeah, I mean, about the court speed, I think that probably given probably a quick court is more suitable with the format, the sense of the event. But in this case, I don't mind. I'm okay with even quite fast is okay for me, even because the matches are still quite quick because of the deciding point, no odd score. So yeah, of course we will pay a little bit of attention about how the difference will be, and also how the event will play out. In my opinion, it's not that bad, the fact that with Italy already having the ATP finals, this event has changed the location. But let's just see.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get any shots of the crowd, because that's also a thing that everyone has been wondering about. I mean, will Abdullah Sheibach be, someone who brings in people or not? And also, will, in general, all of these players get them to watch? Only Fields really has that sort of star power where I could imagine him, being like someone, let's say, saying, "Okay, I know this guy. Let's get there."
Yeah.
Most of the time, like the crowds that I'm expecting in Jeddah is probably going to be people who are just youngsters, nice event, let's go, like not for a particular player.
Yes, exactly.
But we'll see. I mean, so far I haven't really seen any huge establishing shots, I guess, of the crowds. It's also the first match, but it's actually 3 p.m. in Jeddah already, so most people should be getting out of work around this time. I actually don't know what the sort of social structure they have in Saudi Arabia.
Let's see if maybe later also with getting later also there should be maybe a player like Shelby can be can be quite known for some tennis fans there.
Maybe, yeah.
Let's see. I have to say that I'm not sure about what's going to happen with the crowd, and so
the tennis culture in Saudi Arabia is certainly still that we're still is certainly something that we're still very much learning, and perhaps in the future we'll know more about, because it seems like at least some tennis events will be held there. But for now we just have no idea what the interest is and how much of an attendance we can actually expect. Mario, let's chat Luca Nardi and Flavio Cobolli. They're both in the same group. They're both Italian, of course, just like you. And I just wonder, how do you see their chances? And is there any, is Nardi a bigger threat to Fils and Stricker than Cobolli, or the other way around? And because, they both sort of drew the short straw by getting the two pre-tournament favorites in their group.
Well, I would say that, in my opinion, probably in these conditions, I tend to trust Nardi a little bit more. He's a bit inconsistent still, but when he's in his days, I feel like he has something in him that can cause troubles to the other two players of the group, especially in this kind of quick format. If he's able to play well some crucial points, I tend to trust him a bit more if I have to choose among the two, because I feel like he has more weapons if he's on. But that is going to be the big question about him, because he's not always on. So let's see. The start has not been bad. He even if still not that much to say about this first points of the match. But yeah, to answer your question, I feel like among the two, I see him with the slightest better chance to try to take out one of the two favorites of this group.
Yeah, 100% agree. He's definitely the guy who should just like the conditions a lot more. I mean, Cobolli, when you have him playing against someone who doesn't have a serve, who doesn't have big weapons, he's going to do fine indoors. But when you get him against someone like, I don't know, Martere recently, he was just demolished there and couldn't compete with just the amount of, serve plus 1 forehand points that Martere got. Cobolli is very much, it's not like he doesn't have weapons, but like he's just a little erratic, a little all over the place with how he uses them. And I just feel like, when someone has a steady input, steady sort of array of
Mhm.
points coming his way, that's when Koboli is probably going to struggle here. So I mean, I very much agree. Nardi is actually the one that I really regret that he's in this group, because I believe that in the let's say he was in the other one, I guess he was drawn in the same pot with Shellbike, right? So if he was in that group along with instead of Shellbike, we got a group with Mikkelsen, Medjedovic, Vanash, and Nardi. That would be like total chaos, and I would have
Yeah.
absolutely no clue who's
Yes,
entering the
definitely.
semis from that. Whereas obviously here, then if you get Shellbike in this group, Fils, Koboli, Striker, and Shellbike, then it would be even more lopsided towards Fils
Yeah,
and Nardi.
I feel like
Yeah.
yes.
Fils and
Yeah,
Nardi, Fils and Striker, yeah.
About Nardi, who hasn't followed really him in challengers has probably also seen him. I remember last year he played a good match against Tsitsipas in Astana. This season, when I think about Nardi, I always think about a lot of ups and downs and ups and downs. But overall, I feel that he has something in him that he could grow a little bit more in the next season, in my opinion. In Italy there was a lot of hype about him, I have to say, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Around also, I don't want to say general public, but even the Italian fans who were not really watching, all the challengers event, and but among the youngsters, he's always been the youngster, of course, excluding Musetti, Sinner. Talking just about the others, for example, even comparing to Arnaldi, Nardi
Oh, for sure.
was way more talked about. And now, yeah, people still have that hope that he can, get at least at a better level. Also watching, that kind of growth that, for example, Arnaldi had this season. They have some hopes, and I feel like he can have the quality to have a little quality jump. I don't know if that big as Arnaldi did, but for sure he needs to get more consistent in a weekly basis. Also, he had some regrettable losses also this year.
Yeah, I mean, the first half of the season was awful, but he has recovered from that. I feel like he's like for sure breaking the top 100 in 2024. Just the ranking situation that he has
Mhm.
right now, with not defending all that much, I guess, and in the first few months outside of that Monte Carlo round 2 and also the Pune final, and or like whatever the Indian challenger was. I think it was Pune. And
Yeah.
basically, I think that even outside of Italy, there was a lot of hype regarding Nardi. For a while, he was like considered on par with, let's say, Alcaraz Runa in the 2003 Bear Fear, which made sense at the time. You can still see it. I mean, the natural talent is very much there. And it's only really through comparison to these two guys that he sort of disappoints. Because if you just look at it normally, I mean, he's
Yeah,
20.
okay.
He's
Yes,
in the
exactly.
NextGen finals, right? I mean, he is actually doing really well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
that, yeah,
Yeah,
if you
even if we
compare him
compare
to
to other, for
Alcaraz and
example,
Runa, yeah.
Medjedovic, he's another,
Yeah,
of his
Medjedovic is
age.
also
And
2003 born, right? I mean,
yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah,
pretty
exactly.
much on
That's why
a,
I
well, let's say Medjedovic is on a better career path because he has two ATPs, ATP 250 semis. So he's like done more at the higher
yeah,
level.
sure.
But like ranking wise, same age. It's not like Nardi is falling behind. But yeah, I think what you said about Nardi and Nardi, these two, I think it's incomparable simply what they got. I mean, no one really
No,
cared
yeah,
about
for sure.
Arnaldi even in Italy. And Nardi got like 15 challenger wildcards in 2021. Of course, he didn't really do anything with them. I think there was like one, maybe quarter or semi at the end of the year in
Yeah, yeah,
Forli.
yeah.
But it all, as a whole, it like all just ended up making him making him a better player with experience. He, of course, had a very good start to the season in 2023. Developed his serve. Now it's probably going to be more about like maybe making the forehand an exceptional weapon. But there's no denying that like he's so naturally talented, and the hype was definitely warranted. Will he be an Alcaraz or Rune? No, but will he be a tour player? I mean, it seems like so, he should be. Yeah. Sometimes we try to like sort of we give these crazy standards to players, and I'm not saying you did that with anything you said, but I definitely feel like we hold guys like Striker or Nardi to such extremely high standards just because, well, they were so good in the juniors, and we've seen some guys like Alcaraz or Rune, Alcaraz winning a slam at 19, and you sort of feel like, okay, if Striker doesn't break the top 100 in 2022, he's ruined. I mean, the career is ruined.
Yes, you're
that's
right.
kind of how people treat
But
it this way.
it
And
is like that even on a bigger perception. For example, when someone wins a slam at 19, 20, people tends to immediately think they're going to be the next big three, and so going to want to win 20 slams. If not, they are a flop. but it's not like that. Yeah
And then of course in general, like, that's actually a compliment in a way to the player, because we expect so much from them because we can see all the talent. But yeah, sometimes I think we're definitely just way too quick to write off a certain player just because, I don't know, a season when he's 19 or 20 isn't going quite as well as we thought. And maybe Nardi will have something here.
A little bit flat, right?
Pretty sloppy +1 forehand here. Fils, I guess, is the only guy where we can maybe look at. Well, we'll see how he performs, but like, he's probably the only guy who really like stands out from the field in terms of his ranking, his achievements on the Pro Tour, at least so far. I mean, on the Pro Tour, on the ATP Tour. And I wonder if how it's going to be for him.
He's the one who had an holiday before this tournament, because he's coming from some weeks off. Because being already an, let's say, established tour player, he hasn't been also playing challengers in these past weeks like most of the other guys have done.
But he also did it on purpose, right? After the Altmaier loss in Paris, he said that he was just really tired with the season, and he I mean, the challengers, of course, he wouldn't be playing with like a ranking of 38, but like, he was supposed to play Mets, he withdrew because he just said that he feels exhausted already. And we'll see if that actually plays into it here. After that quote, I thought that maybe he might pull out from the NextGen finals, but he's still here. Musetti had a similar dilemma, I guess, last year. Of course, he was still eligible for 2023 as well. But last year he was like on the verge of, should I play it? Should I not play it? And this year,
he maybe the fact that they were held in Italy probably, make him play it in the end. Here we have a break in Nardi's favor. It's been pretty poor game by Fils.
That was like 4 missed forehands from Fils, probably.
Yes, exactly. Nardi didn't really do anything special, but as we remember, the set is 4-game set, so Nardi will serve for the first set after the changeover. I don't know if it's worthy, but we remember also to who has forgotten that we have the deciding point on 40 all. So for example, here it was 15-40, and basically we had 3 break points and not 2.
And the server chooses the box, not unlike in doubles.
Unlike in the doubles, exactly. Do you agree with this? Or would you prefer the opposite?
I actually didn't remember that. I sort of relearned it yesterday when I was just there was this preview on Talking Tennis, and we had the innovations listed on the screen, and I was like, really, the server chooses the surface box? That's a little weird. But I guess it only really felt weird to me because of doubles and how they're the returner. It's their choice. I don't know if I really have an opinion. Of course, it's a little bit more advantage to the server, which I guess you don't really want, because, well, you don't want just tie breaks. But then again, maybe you do. This format is all about these pressure points and getting so much
because in
action
the end,
in less time, right?
It's also the 4-game game set. For example, here the break in a normal set, a break at this point it can be decisive, but it's you are still
Yeah,
time.
there's
You have still
lots of
time.
time for
Yes,
Fils to
exactly.
work on his
Here,
game and maybe
Nardi
get it
is,
back.
he is already serving for the set.
Here
So
with the way that Fils is looking, I mean, completely flat in terms of his body language as well. You know, the set is probably done, and it's going to be done in less than 20 minutes.
yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
that's the
You have
format
to
for
like
me.
you have to like the format. I mean, I quite enjoy it, but also because it's something different, and I feel like
Yes.
for I also feel that for people like us who like tennis that much, it's maybe a little bit indifferent. We would follow them even in a normal score. But I feel like even for more casual fun, you have to make this event a little bit different if you want to draw bigger attention. So I'm quite okay with the format, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, as a one-time thing, fantastic. To actually implement it on the tour, that would be like such a massive, monumental change, like meta breaking. You know, other players would succeed because of it. Different players would like fall behind because of it. It would be just a total shake-up of tradition of tennis. I don't think it's going to happen for like at least the next 20, 30 years. I don't know, maybe in the future, you know, maybe with the whole world changing and like the attention span technology, who knows, maybe we'll get there, but definitely we are not close to it. But yeah, trying it out for a week a year, it makes this event probably even more fun. And some of the innovations that we've had at the next gen finals are already on the tour, you know, towel racks debuted here,
Yeah, sure.
electronic line calling, I don't know if anything else. Yesterday I came up with something that. I think the shot clock probably was
The
also
shot clock.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. The shot clock. Then there was also something that was, they tried and then, they took a step back. For example, I
Mhm.
remember that the first edition, first two editions, maybe the net was not, didn't count. The player just
Oh,
kept playing after the net on serve.
and that's not there anymore, right?
No,
Yeah,
no,
you're
no, no,
right.
no,
But it's
no, no,
still
no.
in juniors at least. So it's not like we're not really trialing out. I think that actually can be implemented in the future, pretty quickly.
Yeah,
But
even if
yeah,
it's a little bit. I felt like it could have been implemented, but then the fact that they took a step back on that
yeah.
probably. Meanwhile, Fields has struck 9 unforced errors in these 6 games, so yeah, not
Five
really
of
the.
his forehand and at least three in that game where he was broken. So
Yes, exactly. Basically, Nardi just had one forehand winner, and that's it.
hmm.
No aces. I don't know. I feel like I need, at least another set to draw conclusions on the conditions, but probably feels a little bit slower than they were in Milan last year. I don't know.
Yeah, it should be fine for Fields theoretically, but yeah, it just came out looking really well. I don't want to say
Yeah, I mean, all,
disinterested,
all
but
these pitches,
uh,
are worthless if you strike 9 unforced errors in 6 games.
yeah, in such a short set, and also
Yes,
at least
exactly. That's.
four of them basically being in one game where you get broken as well. But yeah, it's the best of five format, so it
Oh
still
yeah,
doesn't
sure.
mean all that much. But yeah, maybe the upset is looking I mean, maybe the upset is looking doable for Nardi now. And also with the group stage, of course, it's not like Fields would be out at first glance,
Ah,
like
no,
at the
no, no.
first, after he loses to Nardi, but it would put him in a very dangerous position, especially considering that one of the next matches he's going to play is going to be against Dominic Stricker.
Yeah, sure. Uh, Yeah, then of course, being three best of 5 sets, also the set score can be more important to keep than it is, for example, in the ATP finals. If they somehow going to count the set percentage and.
Yeah, there's a lot of mess here because, of course, you have the best of 5, and then the scenarios are even tougher to calculate
Yeah.
sometimes. You basically get even more permutations, but Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, because at the ATP finals, the ATP actually did a really good job with like announcing it
Yeah,
after
yeah,
every
yeah, sure.
single
But
match. You had it on the
I
website.
remember, I
You had it on
remember
the
that
email. Yeah.
it was like that even last year for both events. So I presume that even for this next gen final, it's going to be the same.
By the way, that's interesting because Fizz is leading Fairy Love, and on the scoreboard on the website that we have showing for you guys, it's actually Love Fairy, which no, it's not true.
No.
But yeah, apparently the scoreboard is mixing it up here. But yeah, I hope that it's gonna be like that here as well. That at the next gen finals website, we're just gonna be able to find it very easily. If not, we're gonna have to do it ourselves. I guess that's what I was doing in previous years. So I think that in previous years it wasn't as clearly stated.
I'm sure
But
that
yeah.
we had it last year, or maybe I'm wrong.
No,
Probably I
maybe it
was.
was a lot. Maybe it was, maybe I'm mixing it up with like 2021 or something
Yeah,
like
it
that.
could be because
It's been a
2021. I
few years, of
remember. I
course.
remember that I was getting some newsletter with the tables. But I
Do
feel
you know
like
what
last
this is
year I
about, by
was.
the way? Do you know what this is about? Because they're arguing about something, and
Ah, oh my God! They played 3 points of the game on the wrong side of the court, and
oh
then
my goodness.
Laiani told them, "Oh my God, guys, it was wrong." But I think right now they just going on from 40 love. I think, in fact.
Oh my. So they actually were on the wrong sides?
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
insane.
maybe because you still have to change court, even if the set ends with even games.
Yeah, and now they're again confused. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. Yeah, because I guess
yeah.
in this format you probably have to change what? I mean, in this format you probably have to change ends even though
But now they are coming
the
back.
set ends with even games. No,
Now they are coming back.
now they should just change their rackets, right? And then get back to the same sides, yeah. Because there's no change of ends after the first game, but they are changing the rackets because it's new balls. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
basic.
I've never seen anything like that, honestly.
Yeah, but I guess it's different in the format, and that's why Liani got confused. But that's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
hilarious.
That's for sure. That's for sure. In fact,
Maybe that's also why the scoreboard was off. I think probably.
yeah,
Yeah,
probably yes on the website. Yeah, yeah.
that would make sense.
Well, I guess the umpire should study the rules. But okay, he can get confused a little bit.
Well, yeah,
No,
Jake.
it's
I
been
mean,
just
you're
weird
kind of right.
because it's just weird because both the players and also the umpire just let 3 points go, doing the wrong thing. But okay.
Yeah, I mean the
It's
players I definitely understand because,
no
well,
players,
how
okay, but the
you just
umpire
do it
should.
like at every other event on the tour. It's not something that Leani told you, before
Yeah,
the
yeah,
match.
yeah.
It's not
Let's
something that
say
would
that
be on the website even.
it's basically the only thing or most the umpire should do in this kind of tour because no calls.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
tough times for the line umpires because they're like once we get electronic line calling in every event on the tour, they're never gonna be needed again. Chair
Yeah.
umpire though will always be there just to like settle some
Yes, exactly. So
arguments
at
and
least
yeah.
I hope you would know the rule in a good way. But even because now for me, I will say because it's important because especially for I know that Layani maybe is not thinking about that right now, but because of the crowd and the general public, who maybe I can imagine most of them just starts watching without spending too much time on knowing all the rules. If you on court are the first to make some mess, then it becomes even more difficult to follow a little bit what happens. So maybe the umpire should just be a little bit more careful about these situations.
Yeah, another forehand error from Figs, just trying to take it maybe a little early and netting. So far, not so good for him, but of course, this is a weird format. Maybe he can actually get back into it. But yeah, I think looking at the stadium now that they're showing us some shots of it, it does look fairly empty. And
Yeah.
well, I guess we expected that, but we're sort of thinking, oh, maybe it's not gonna be that bad.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, I've never seen that they would play 3 points on the wrong sides then change. I wonder, how it is in the actual rule book of like ITF or something like the general rules of tennis. Like if the umpire makes an error, I guess then you don't replay the points, right? But still,
No, I
that's
think
pretty
yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Maybe they can replay 1 point, but I guess you don't replay 3 points. You know. Uh,
Was this a double fault? I guess it was. Yeah.
yeah, double fault. Yes.
I was confused why it's point Nardi since I thought he just threw out the return, but no, it's the double fault. I like that this event looks a lot like Milan. The coloring is exactly the same. You also don't have the doubles alleys, so theoretically there's like no difference. It's only the Jeddah
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
name on the behind the baseline. But of course, it would be great if there was more atmosphere, more crowds. We'll see. Maybe this match also gets more electric, which at this stage would just require Fields to, I don't know, come up with a few explosive forehands that, the kind that we're used to from him, and that he hasn't really touched and he hasn't really found yet in this match.
Here there's also another, another new thing. I mean,
Uh-huh.
we have the shot clock also between first and second serve
Yes.
should be 8 seconds, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it is 8 seconds. Yes.
And then probably also no after a let. This I don't remember, but I know that there is this new thing.
Yeah, it seems kind of tedious to me, and I wonder if it's not going to be another thing like the actual shot clock, which in a way slowed down the game. Because if you look at the stats, actually points before shot clock used to be like a second or 2 seconds quicker than before, than after it was implemented. Just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the players now use up their time, they know how much time
Yes,
they have, and they
exactly.
use it up. So I
Well,
feel
I
like
just
on
think
second
that
serves it could be like that as well. I don't know.
uh, it depends, honestly. I think that it would be important if it's, bring on also after the net, after first
Hmm.
serve, because a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
times, players just net the serve and then take all their
Go
time.
on a walk basically
Yes,
around the court.
exactly.
Yeah.
Instead, there it's a little bit of hypocritical, because if you have a limit of time to start the new point, then it's not that you let the serve and then you take another 25 seconds just to go to get new balls and watch them carefully and choose the ball. And it may be useful at times, but I can understand why players. But I mean, if we want to set a rule, it shouldn't be just between 1 point and the other one.
Yeah. Jake giving the best answer there to the betting question. I mean, Fils is the favorite pretty much, He is looking very flat and like sort of disengaged, but if he finds it, he is the better player. But you know, we cannot really know if he does. So yeah, one of these two players is probably going to win. And yeah, Jake mentioning Paul-Henri Mathieu and Seba Grosjean there as well. Also Sergi Bruguera, right? I mean, if we had a competition for who has the best coaching box in Jeddah, it's Arthur Fils.
Yeah.
At least three legends in there, so there's no real contest. Although I imagine that Medjedovic will bring in Troitsky, so at least he can compete with him. But the other guys don't really stand a chance. Unfortunately for Fields, you actually have to play to win. You can't just show off your coaches.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think Arthur will mind though. Of course, after that, this you guys know probably already that this is a different sort of format than the ATP or WTA finals. When you have 5 days of action, everyone in the group stage is playing on every day.
Yeah.
Shorter matches, so it's perfectly fine. And we have Fils Nardi and then Striker Koboli, and then in the evening session, so to speak, there's
Yeah,
going
of
to
course.
be a show by Vanash and Medjedovic
Also big
Mikkelsen, and
difference is
we'll
that
also likely have a stream for the last match. So Medjedovic Mikkelsen.
big difference is that also you don't have the double, so it's always
Yeah.
4 matches every day. But the ATP finals, you have 2 doubles matches and 2 singles matches, and here.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably more important than the day of rest. Although I imagine if they would still want to drag the ATP finals to 8 days, just to earn more money, basically. If doubles
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
But yeah, that's probably more important than the day of rest. Actually, you're right.
Yeah, basically they would need two different courts to make all the matches in one day.
Yep. Eight matches. That's even the Paris Masters
No.
wouldn't do that on one court. 5 a.m. start, and then maybe you can have a shot. But
yeah, another bad mistake here. Really struggling
wow.
really struggling to find his game, honestly. Even because it's not like Nardi is doing something out of this world.
Yeah, his forehand range is just completely off, as Jake is saying. And Jane also, she says that you have a nice headphone microphone setup, which, a nod to the next gen finals of previous campaigns.
Mario, did you celebrate Italy's Davis Cup wins? I'm not going to lie, I was happy because for sure it's not a thing that happens every day, and also all the
just the second time in history.
Yeah, exactly, and also the first one. Everyone remembers there was a lot of political polemic. I remember that some people just found out. I remember. I have been told that some people, for example, some journalists who went there just were, calling their bosses to give the news, because there was it was in Chile. It was kind of Italian politics had didn't want the Italian team to go there to play because of the I don't know how to say in Italy is regime.
Regime is fine.
Yeah. But then Nicola Pietrangeli, who was the captain at that time, really forced things to go, and in the end he had right, because it's been Italy never won that again in 47 years.
Because I guess 76 that would be under Pinochet in Chile, right?
Exactly, okay. Pinochet. Yeah. And there was also the Cold War so there was different. There were some issues. In fact, everyone here in Italy remembers the semi-final when in Rome they beat Australia on the clay in Rome. Which was
that was the most recent one, right?
The
most recent Davis Cup final of Italy?
No. It was the semi-final of that year.
Okay, 76. I thought you were talking about 99. No, that was against Sweden. Yeah,
against Sweden, 98, where Gaudenzi got injured mid-match. Italy basically was 1-7 in 1-6, sorry, in the Cup finals.
I was going over all of that on the stream for Sinner de Minor, but I actually didn't know, the backstory of the Italy-Chile match. So I could only say that, well, Santiago, Chile, Italy wins, and that Jari's grandfather played and like stuff like that. But have a
yeah,
clue
this
about all
this
that
is the story
backstory.
I've been told for years and years and years by
Mhm. Okay, so it's like a really well-known story in Italian tennis.
um, and yeah, so basically that's it. And also it's been also nice because of how he came. Italy, we well know that Italy was just 1 point away from going out in the semifinals.
Mhm.
And so yeah,
And now you
it's
have
been a nice.
now you have another story of being
Yeah,
one
now
point
now we
away in the
have
semifinals.
now we have to conquer Jeddah also.
No, but like 1 point away, right?
Yeah,
From
yes,
being
exactly.
out in the semis. It's a similar story.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's absolutely right. Before it helped also that against Australia we played at home on the clay in Rome,
Yeah.
because when we went to Australia in the 60s or 70s, we always got destroyed on the grass. So
Yeah, and then also a couple of finals on carpet as well, right? So
yeah,
basically, you guys just had the worst, really, like away ties in the final every single time. And I mean, Australian grass, and I think it was Czechia carpet and something else on carpet. I can't remember. Maybe the
yeah, but
States on carpet.
can
Yeah, I
be,
think the States in like Los
can be.
Angeles or something like that. Yeah, so basically, you
Um,
just kept playing on carpet
Yes,
or
yeah,
grass.
yes, because it was, this year, I mean, in this historical period, would already be different, Basically, nowadays, Italian player, I feel like are pretty much, and maybe clay is actually the worst surface Italy can play on for his players, probably, at least, the strongest ones. But
Oh, and Chile actually didn't even have to play the semifinal in '76 because the
no, no,
Soviet
no.
Union refused to travel. Wow, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's a
yeah.
that's a great story. Yeah, and then actually it's the Soviet team who was banned from entering the Davis Cup for 2 years, which, well, I would say both dictatorships were wrong, but well, that's just me. I
Yeah, so
guess I
I don't
just
want
dislike all
I
sorts
don't
of
want to
tyranny.
say that it kind of feels like a first one, because the Italian team was a strong one. He also reached some finals some years later, so no, it's
Yeah,
not like that. But of course, there's not any backstory to tell about this Davis Cup win. So
maybe the fact that
that's
Russia can't play it, I guess, because there was someone in my comments recently asking, how much of an asterisk is that Russia is not there? And I basically said it's sort of like when Djokovic wasn't able to play, some of the slams. Like one player generally isn't enough
yeah, yeah, yeah.
to put something like that. Like when we have that famous slam where 81 players decided not to boycott. Well, yeah, that's okay. That's an asterisk. But like
Yeah,
one
then
player,
we
even
are
if
also
he's the
not
main
sure.
favorite.
We are
Mm,
also not sure if mm, both, for example, Medvedev, Rublev would have played, and all of them. We actually don't even know that, so it's
yeah,
difficult to, in my
yeah, but
opinion.
if they actually like field the best team, they're probably the best team. I mean,
They
Medvedev,
they still
Cacciano,
they still
yeah,
beat
Rublev.
Djokovic, so please. Even if, I mean, in a team event
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
different.
No, I mean, of course, I'm not saying that there should be an asterisk. I'm just saying that basically someone commented that, and I
No,
was like,
yeah, yes,
yeah,
I'm
nah.
kidding.
I wouldn't look at it, but it was an interesting perspective because,
No,
well,
no,
I
that's for
kind of
sure.
forgot about the Russian team, right? And
No, no,
like
that's for
if
sure.
it was allowed in, they are really strong. I mean, no other country has two top 10 players right now. Doubles probably they would just play singles, but that can actually work for you, and they've won it in 2000 whatever.
Yeah, the only
Very
thing is that
recently. Very recently.
this year, maybe with, let's say, Sinner in this form, at least we can think that Sinner could have won his point if he
Yeah.
would have produced the same performance he did, for example, in Turin against Medvedev. It's for sure Russia would have been probably the favorite, or one of the top 2, 3 favorite teams. But it is how it is.
Yeah, Jake, I mean, I actually picked Striker to top the group, just thinking that he might do 2022 all over again. So I guess this is good for me that Fils is looking so flat. But then again, he also has to beat Nardi for my predictions to come out right, right? So, because if he loses here and he loses to Striker, I mean, it's only really a shot if he, if we get this situation where three players are at one win and one just beats everyone. Yeah, absolutely, German. That's what's happening. Fitz looks a little cooked, slow, many first errors with the forehand. Yeah, the body language is just like non-existent, really. I am unable to
No.
watch. What is Nardi's playstyle like? I mean, he kind of just tries to be aggressive, take the ball early,
Yeah, I
forehand
would call.
oriented for sure.
I usually say a little bit also of a smooth style. Didn't seem
Yeah.
like even when he strikes the ball, didn't seem
Ooh,
like too. Uh, I
just
don't
as you
know.
were saying that forehand winner was really smooth, actually.
Yes, exactly. That's what the thing I like the most about his game. He actually doesn't really seem uh, to go for it 100%, even from some perspective, even if he still makes some great shot and strikes the ball
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, just really good timing. I mean, he could use probably just a bit more power or like strength physically because he's trying to be really aggressive and sometimes he kind of can't against a player who's like, I don't know, has a heavy ball or like is actually overpowering him. But yeah, I mean, attacking, timing, forehand oriented,
Yeah, even if
it's
I
fun.
think that he
It's a good game
can
to watch for sure.
he can do better in my opinion from that point of view, because when I watch him
Hmm.
physically, he in my opinion he can have what it takes um, to be a bit heavier also on the court.
Yeah, I think this is
uh
probably something to work
Horrible
on, you
forehand
know.
coming.
Again, oh Jesus, yeah. Fizz had the mini break, but like,
No,
yeah,
that's
anything really.
probably the worst one.
This is a ball that he should feast on. This is what he wants. Inside out forehand, maybe a little too high for comfort, but still to just play it like middle of the net. Yeah, that's really a good summary of Fizz's performance so far. But well, he's in the tiebreak if he wins
Yeah,
it.
sure.
By the way, this is a ridiculous question from me, but are the tiebreaks played to 7 or to 5 points? I don't even remember.
No, it's 7. I think
Okay,
it should be 7.
thank you.
That's what I remember. But
I
but
mean,
yeah,
I just
could
remembered Hopman Cup, and
could have
that
made
was like,
sense, because it's all shorter,
yeah.
and
I
so.
remembered the mixed doubles in Hopman Cup, when it was
No,
4 all deciding point.
one thing that I've always thought was, even last year I was always wondering, but 6 all, it's deciding point, or they go to 8. That was one question that.
Yeah, John, actually, when it comes to the hairdresser, which you've been laughing at, she's a friend of my mom's. She went with her to school, and she actually does not have her practice now because she has issues with her arm. So basically, she's coming to my home to do both me, my mom, and my dad. So yeah, it makes sense. It's not like I have a personal hairdresser. But yeah, with me it's gonna be like 15 minutes. With my dad, it's gonna be like 10 minutes, and with my mom, it's probably gonna be like 2 hours. But we pay her okay. She's still relatively cheap because like she doesn't expect anything from us really because well she's a friend of my mom's, but we still of course have to pay her, and there's this whole no I won't take it, oh no you have to take it thing. But yeah, anyway, yeah, that's why I have a hairdresser coming to my house, and we've actually had this situation for a while. It sounds crazy when you tell it to people, yeah, like it sounds like you're very rich, but that's not the case. I'm actually doing that to avoid paying more for the hairdressers because if I did it and in like the in Gdańsk where I lived for the past
Yeah,
five
sure.
years, then it would be a lot more expensive than here in my hometown. So
Well, let's say that the level is.
ooh, yeah.
Oh, there are
But
kids. This is nice.
oh yeah, that's good. They invited some kids from school, I guess, like in
Because-
Italy in a lot of events. And Nardi also just missed this backhand. Oh, well, no, but I wanted to talk about Fields because when he won that 3-2 point, we actually had a big reaction from him, like a fist pump, and that was maybe the first time when we saw him so positive, so maybe there's hope for him. And it was funny because that point was a bit random. Like he had this very loopy forehand that barely
Yeah.
went into the court. But still, I mean, he won an important point. He was there with, just some emotions. So he's fighting, I guess. But yeah, the level has been a little off. Very important points right now. Long rally, cross-court backhands, and Fields is the one to make the error. Both players definitely not too happy in these sort of exchanges, but I mean, if I'm expecting one to probably be a little more solid, maybe it's Nardi indeed.
Yeah, I mean, from one point of view, a bit surprised. I don't want to say surprised, but you know, for sure we are expecting Fields to express a higher level than this. But at the same point, I feel like Nardi should feel his difficulties, and some mistakes are really letting Fields to basically to still be close to catching the
Yeah,
set.
stay alive in the match despite not playing like anything impressive, and yeah, looking kind of flat for the most part, maybe besides this tiebreak. So yeah, it will be quite key, of course, for Nardi to claim it, but he has to serve now at 4-5.
They have
Fields has
changed
to
it.
stop. Yeah, but I
So
mean, yeah,
it's not anymore that they can walk.
they can walk, but on the sides. They cannot walk behind the baseline.
Okay.
The fan movement is free on the sides. It's not free behind the baseline. There's more
Okay.
people coming, and again, it looks like kids actually. But yeah, I mean, nothing wrong that Fuse did there. I mean, just before Nardi was about to serve, he already
No.
had his
Yes,
hand
yes,
up,
yes.
right?
It was
So
just at times I also the fact that some years there are the rules also change a little bit. So
yeah,
you know.
they shouldn't be letting people in behind the baselines, during a situation like this, of course. I mean, 4-5 behind the baselines, and then they just let them in anyway for some reason. So, well, we have a bit of a delay here, but maybe this whole group, well, they still
Yeah,
haven't,
someone
yeah.
like Medvedev would have eaten these kids alive.
Nardi is actually talking to them right now, it seems. Yeah, Nardi seems pretty pissed off as well. I mean, it's his rhythm that is now, well, his serving rhythm that is now getting deteriorated and hampered. His box seems actually to just laugh it off, and
Yeah.
they actually think it's
Yeah,
kind of
Layan
funny.
is screaming like if.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, free fan movement, great stuff. But behind the baselines, they don't allow it. So I have no idea why they're actually letting people in right now, and why
Yes,
they haven't
exactly.
stopped the
That's
influx. It seems like it's the last people sitting down now, so we should have a point soon. But yeah, a bit of a mess in the first match. Layani not knowing that they have to change ends. Now this, still not everyone has found a seat. Yeah, Nardi is like losing
yeah.
it.
Nardi is all of us. Yeah, I mean, for sure, when you have to serve, probably this is more annoying.
Yep.
Even more annoying because I don't know why he said sorry to Fields, but okay, maybe it was just showing the ball. Let's see.
Did you just ask the score? No, never mind. Anyway, 4-5.
But well played. Well played.
Yeah.
He still served well.
Yeah, nice serve down the tee, plus on forehand, easy winner. So 5-all, and we will now have this crucial point that the next gen finals is, I guess, all about. So a set point for either player, depending on the outcome of the next one. We actually haven't had any deciding points, have we?
No, not even one so far.
Yeah.
I'm as far I know.
I'm pretty
Don't
sure.
know if
Pretty
I
sure
don't know
that's
if
the
I lost
case.
something, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. The break was to 15, and
Yeah,
all the
feels
other games
it's
went smoothly.
aggressive here. Yeah, well played by Nardi with this cross court backhand, and feels tried to still go down the line but missed it. So set point for Nardi.
Yeah, feels in control like the whole point really, but Nardi finds
Yeah,
this nice
that's
sharp
also once,
angle.
even here, Fields was at some point he was in control of the rally, was fit on the baseline. Could have done probably something more.
Yeah, and then Nardi just really limited his options with this
Yeah, yeah,
angle.
yeah.
Like feels had to go down the line. Like that was the only real choice, and of course it was for the high net and
Second
yeah, just
serve.
a risky shot that he misses. Ooh, must have been close.
Ooh, that's horrible. This return should have at least
Yeah.
put it on the court.
Yeah, the kicker from Fields, Nardi stands really far back and just doesn't like
Yeah,
decelerate
exactly.
into it.
Given the importance of the point and the fact that actually it was a second serve from Fields, could have been a good chance.
Yeah, maybe the quality hasn't been too good, but I'm having fun anyway. It's a
Oh
different
yes, yeah,
format.
sure.
It's players I enjoy watching.
But
I don't
yeah,
really mind it.
yeah, seems like I'm destroying myself on this earth, but it's not like that. Don't worry. It's just sometimes I try to put myself into the player's body and to
Yeah, that was definitely a missed chance. If we see Fields taking the set, we will remember that point. Even if we see Fields taking the match, we will
and
remember
here
that point.
it's Fields having a set point.
Finally, something of the forehand side. I mean, the
Yeah.
return from Nardi, of course, just a chopped one, but was pretty deep still. So
Yeah. By
Fields
the way,
actually
I
had to
feels like
produce that
of
spin power
course
combo.
it's
Uh-huh.
fair. It's fair not having some kind of deciding point in the tiebreak, because it wouldn't be fair for the player who is returning.
Oh yeah. The Hopman Cup deciding point at 5-all, at 4-all. Yeah, definitely not too
Yeah,
fair.
but Open Cup, it's just
Yeah, it's an exhibition. Yeah, bona fide exhibition, I guess.
It's a long rally. Well played by Fields this time. He went very deep with his backhand. It was, and Nardi missed it. So
yeah, some of the best points that he
point.
played all match.
Yeah.
Really, the last two. The one of the best forehands he's hit, and now this one. Basically, we've had like a very similar backhand exchange a few points ago, and then it was Nardi who sprayed first. Now Fields just stayed calm, stayed composed, and got the error. As you said, there was like one pretty deep ball that he hit, and it was enough. So he gets the set, tries to pump himself up as well, which I like seeing, because the first set and a half, certainly he just looked quite disengaged.
Yeah, in my opinion, the conditions look quite slow, honestly.
Yeah. I think so too.
What about the pressure of these players? Do you feel like they go there with some kind of pressure, or do you feel like they try to enjoy more or less? Because I don't think that it's a disaster if they don't do pretty well, but still
Depends on the player, I guess. I think Fields, there's a lot of pressure on him, just like there was last year with like Musetti or Draper, just because like you're so established and all the other guys are behind you and everyone's expecting you to do well. Other guys depends, but I think like for someone like Shelbach or Koboli, they probably will be happy with a win in a way. Like, of course, if there is a chance to get out of groups and make it, to the final, that's amazing. But like a 0-3 record is the only real way they leave the event very disappointed, I would say. I guess Striker, having gone 3-0 in groups last year, he will also really be like targeting a huge run. The Medjedovic, Mikkelsen, Van Asch group, I just feel like it's really close, and all of these guys will be like, I mean, I know I have a shot, but it wouldn't be a horrible, horrible result for me if I don't make it. Mario said about
Yeah,
the conditions that they look pretty slow. That's the info that I also got like a couple of days ago from a friend who's there. Yeah, I think that's how it looks. That it's definitely slower than Milan, but it's still an indoor hard court. For someone like Fizz, that probably doesn't matter. Who can it really hurt here? Maybe like a Striker. Striker would be more dangerous if it was Milan, I guess. But otherwise, all of these guys should be fine, right? It probably is a help to Shellbike, maybe to Koboli, but I don't know if that's actually enough to help him out in this group. And also to Van Asch, probably. Like Van Asch will enjoy them, I would imagine.
Here we are having some, Phil's got some confidence probably by winning that set. He's now trying to break early, love 30. Ace.
Yeah, that would be quite a momentum shift if he got broken here. So he really needs to find something very quickly. Nardi so far has won like a lot of his first serve points, so it's actually kind of surprising that he's now in a bit of trouble. 86% before this one, I think.
Great forehand. 3 break points.
Yeah, he's finding some range. Even one of these backhands here, he like accelerated through it, cross court, hit through it, which was cool. And then he takes over completely with the forehand. And yeah, the last one, of course, that's the shot that we expect from Fizz. Loses a bit of that shape, the heaviness maybe on it, on the kill shot, but that's what you have to do to finish the point. And 3 breakpoints, as Mario said, as earlier on, you stated that the deciding point is essentially a breakpoint as well.
Oh, a lucky net for Fils, and so we have.
Yeah, the whole rally was really good too. I mean, from both guys, and I said that after the tiebreak finish, that was like some of the best points that Fuse played the last 2 there so far, and yeah, this game can definitely be just added to that. Really took that momentum from the tiebreaker and turns it into his first break of the match. So far, still no deciding points, which I kind of want to see now, just which side they choose.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a lefty, they will surely go outside every single time. We have Striker and we have Shellbike, I guess, only from lefties. So and right-handers, it's unclear really. Personally, I would still be going outside every single time. I just feel like having that out wide serve, even as a right-hander.
Talking about, for example, the very, very top player, if we take, for example, Djokovic, I'm sure he tries, he could choose, from the right side. I mean, it's the safest choice in my opinion. It depends. If you can try to surprise by, but in my opinion, going from the deuce court from a right-handed player is still the safest choice.
That's a double fault. I guess Fizz was a little rushed after the first serve, by the shot clock. That's kind of how it felt. Like he didn't really do his whole motion, his whole serve preparation. So it's interesting to see if this shot clock between the serves is actually going to stay with us or not. But this was a particular case where I think he actually didn't like have his full serve routine. Of course, it all depends on when the umpire clicks it as well. Which,
also.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with the shot clock. It is a little arbitrary because sometimes the umpire will like almost even allow the player to get to the towel and then click the shot clock. So
Yeah.
it's not ideal, but then again, you're not gonna pay someone to actually just sit there and do that. I guess it's easier if the umpire just does it. But I feel like that first second serve shot clock might actually not stay because of that reason. Like it feels really tedious for the umpire to every single time have to
2,
click
1.
it again,
It's
and
over already, and the umpire just let him, do
exactly,
two bounces. Yeah, probably 8. It's maybe 2, 3 more seconds.
yeah. But then again, if you just give them like 12, 13 seconds, then we're gonna see the
Yeah,
same as with
yeah,
the shot clock. They're just gonna use it all up, right? And
yeah.
it's actually gonna extend the matches.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's just a
yeah,
matter of setting a rule, maybe.
yeah.
Even
I
the
guess
shot
there are
clock.
just a few players who abuse it, and they're the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
One of them might be the word number one. And it's not a particular problem, he still brings in a lot of excitement, of course. And for now, I don't think it's really something that we have to worry about. But if it ever becomes a thing that we really need to shorten the matches, I guess maybe we'll look at
Ah,
that.
oh, yeah, right. We haven't mentioned, but probably you were aware already. We didn't mention right now.
Uh-huh.
That the shot clock is 15 seconds here.
No. The shot clock is only 15 seconds if you have an ace, double fault, or an unreturned serve.
Ah, yeah,
And
right. Okay.
that was also the case in
Yeah, if the
2022.
points, if
Yeah,
the
if
points is
it's less
short.
than 3 shots, I think that's
Yeah,
how
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah, yeah.
stated on the website.
Right.
But it basically means it's an ace, double fault, or an unreturned serve.
Yeah,
And
basically.
I love that actually. I think this is very welcome because there's no need for
Yeah, that's
for the
right.
longer break after an
Yeah,
ace.
yeah, that's
You're
right.
not to go to the towel after an ace. You're not gonna have to go to the towel after an unreturned serve. So I think this is a change that we should have on the main tour very, very quickly. I wonder how tough it is for the umpire as well, because they need to have sort of like 2 different buttons, I guess, for it
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. But yeah, we'll see. But after it wouldn't be a right call
Yeah,
if
even
after every point it was
if
15
I
seconds.
am
But
honest, probably I feel like if they have their
uh-huh.
device on the chair, the device can even show only the only one button possible to push, uh, because they
Uh-huh.
usually have all these
Yeah,
these.
I mean the system, the program has to be
Yes,
different, I
exactly.
guess, for the next gen finals. Yeah, I don't think it's that much of an issue, but well, they probably must have developed something like that. But I mean, they have the technicians. I think it's not much of an issue, but yeah, it's a learning curve for sure for the
Yeah,
umpires
yeah,
as
but
well.
it makes total sense. That's
Yeah,
what. Yeah. If we
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
we make a shot clock, there's going to be a difference also between I hit an ace, I play the 30 rally points. Uh, it's okay.
Yeah, 15 seconds after an ace double fault makes total sense
Hmm.
to me.
Oh. Interesting one.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
Sick
Nardi
shot from
hits.
Nardi there.
Yeah, and feels basically hit the jump uh, to not
His
fall.
racket was like barely in his hand. I feel like he was like
Yes.
barely gripping it. And yeah. On the replay you can see it as well. Of course, Fields didn't make it, had to jump over one of the banners or whatever. Sort of like Monfils, right? But
Yes.
Monfils, the thing that he had to jump over was a lot higher. I remember being like really scared that he would,
Yeah,
hurt himself
this
there.
fact of the 8-second shot clock between first and second serve are
Uh-huh.
making me, focusing a lot on
On
the
the clock.
player's routine. The player's
Okay, on the
routine.
routine.
For example, Nardi's routine is quicker. He always ready
Yes.
3 seconds. 2 seconds.
Fields actually has
Fields,
to adjust. It seems like
yeah.
Fields actually has to adjust, yeah.
Alert, deciding point.
Deciding point, finally.
Finally.
Yeah, I mean, if of course if Fields gets it done here, he's 3-0 up. Just needs one more hold. Set will be pretty much done. Great, really way to turn that second set tiebreak into a total momentum shift. But we'll see if he claims the deciding point.
Yeah, Nardi right-handed chose the deuce court, but he missed the first serve. Oh. He played well. He defended well here.
That was in? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was in.
Yeah, I thought that forehand down the line from Nardi surely was out, but yeah, apparently it was in. So yeah, great point from Luca. Really tight on this forehand and also on the kill shot as well. So still in the set, I guess, but Fils is of course leading with a break.
Do you feel like Nardi should try to be, not only this event, I'm talking generally, his tennis should be more aggressive, at times step more into the court, we've said this, for example, he's not exaggerating like, I don't know, Musetti, but does he at times have this same issue, in your opinion?
Not really. I feel like what he's like really good at knowing what he wants to do on the court, and generally speaking, like when he trusts his game, maybe not like in the first half of 2023, but when he's confident, he's generally just trying to be really aggressive and take use of that, like make use of that timing and shot making that he has. So maybe more so the improvement should be keep working on the serve and forehand, like really turning them into absolute prime weapons. They're always going to give you points no matter what. But it's not like there's a big problem with him. Again, the physicality which we mentioned, but I don't think his playstyle would really change. I think like it's maybe just going to be about developing something that is just a really steady influx of points. But if we have Nardi like in the top 50 in 2 years, I would assume that he's going to be playing like pretty much the same playstyle as he is today.
Yeah, let's say that he. The feeling I always got is that he's a lot of an immoral player. He's, at times he tends to be transported a little bit too much, probably by how he's feeling.
Have we done? I don't know. Have we done any commentary on the NextGen finals last year? I'm not sure if I did, but this certainly feels very different to a normal match.
Yes. Oh, what a point!
Oh wow, yeah. Will Nardi catch this? No. But yeah, great stuff. I'm a little behind
I
you,
haven't.
but still,
I'm sure that I haven't, because the first one it was the ATP finals, and last year it was later.
Yeah, for you it was definitely the ATP finals, so you wouldn't. I also don't think I did. And actually, this feels very different to commentating on a normal match, just because we have like 0 breaks, literally. I mean, usually when I'm doing a match, it's
last year I had one match. No, I didn't have one match, but I remember me watching it very carefully because I was just having dinner at home and watching the match. It was Musetti against Gaston. It was last year or 2 years ago, maybe. I think it was Gaston 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was actually a match with a lot of breaks of serve.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean breaks as in, between play. As
also,
because the players don't sit down, because there's no change of ends. I basically feel like all the time, commentating all the time. There's something to talk about. Whereas sometimes when you do a normal regular format match, you're just
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah,
have this 1 minute of break to look at the
yeah,
chat,
yeah.
to look up something, to do whatever.
That's
Whereas here
absolutely
we're
right.
just sort of
Yeah, I got
stuck,
you.
in
Yeah, yeah.
action, and that's good. Like that's what the next gen finals is supposed to be
Yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah. I got what you say. Also, at times, we are starting reflecting about some things, and casually we have lost one game.
Yeah, there's no time really to talk about anything. It's pretty tough from a commentator's perspective, but in a way it's also easy because there's just always something to that we can cover. Obviously, we just haven't really. Well, we talked about that beautiful point a bit, but then someone starts another thing, and suddenly it's 5 points later, and it's fun. I like it definitely, and then of course there's gonna be some more watch alongs for you guys coming up. We also are very close to 5,000 subscribers. We would like to hit that before the end of the
Yeah.
year. If that doesn't happen, fair enough. But I think it is possible, especially during the Davis Cup. We did get like a lot of that. I think right now we are at about this number for 4,728. Probably before, since the stream started, it's probably a little higher, or like since the last time this banner was updated. But anyway, if you guys still haven't subscribed, that would be great. I think 5K would be a really, really nice target to get from the beginning of the year. Sorry, to get at the end of the year,
Mm.
and and to keep working on it in 2024 as well.
Do you think for the general public, this event is better right now, or maybe before the ATP finals was better?
I think before the ATP finals was better. I think a lot of people will sort of just tune out after
Mm,
ATP finals, Davis Cup.
yeah. Yeah, I
I
mean,
wonder what the interest will be
in
like,
Italy,
but
it was sure. It was a sure answer because if you have, eight next gen finalists and ATP finals within 1.5 hours of cars, so basically so close, for sure you have to make before the next gen and then the ATP finals, because if not, it becomes really difficult. Yeah, I had the same feeling. For me, maybe it doesn't change anything because I know that they're going on. I just tune in and follow. But yeah, probably a lot of the general public, can be less interested in this.
Jake, all YouTube tells me is that it's 4.72, so it's probably still not 4730. That's all I know. So it's either 4728 or 4729. But yeah, I think a lot of people definitely will tune out after the Davis Cup and ATP finals. For me personally, it would probably be even better if this was held next week, because this week is the last one of the Challenger season, so you still have 4 events there. So like my
Mhm.
attention is a little split. If it was held next week, then I would be like just literally just watching next gen finals the whole week.
Yeah,
But of course, that
I
wouldn't
guess.
be ideal for the players as well.
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
generally, I definitely enjoyed the holding it before the ATP finals a lot more, just because it just felt like more people will tune into that. I haven't really like been glancing through Twitter all that much. I'm seeing some tweets from the usual suspects. So I know Jake has been tweeting about this match quite a lot. I see a few people that they would tweet about any tennis really that's on. So I really have no clue how many people are actually watching this. But we have 14 viewers as well. I mean that also means something,
Yeah, sure,
that
sure.
there is interest in the match.
I don't know if it's our star power.
Yeah. Ghosty also says, yeah, definitely it's us. Ghosty says a lot of fans tune out after the US Open. Yeah, I mean, living
But
in a
I
sort
don't
of
know.
bubble. Yeah, living in the
Eh,
bubble that we are, it's hard to notice that, right?
yeah,
Because
but I
we
mean,
just,
for sure,
yeah,
it also
we keep going.
depends. it also depends. For example, here in Italy, I don't think I've never seen as many people watching tennis as I saw in these
Oh,
past 2 weeks, for example. So I guess
yeah, for
it
sure.
depends a lot on, also, for example, the geographical area you're living in, the players who are doing well in that moment. I don't know.
It could be particularly true as well in the American landscape because you guys don't have any events after the US Open, basically. Your players don't, like, at least right now, don't do all that well. Well, Shelton, won Tokyo, and that was probably a big story, but it might be particularly true in the States. But yeah, I just find it very hard to estimate any of that because I'm just, I'm so stuck in this tennis bubble where tennis is basically the most important thing in my life. that yeah. And Jake says that 67% of Phil's serves are going unreturned. That's pretty crazy. I haven't seen that stat, so probably I wasn't looking at the stream at that moment, but yeah, that's insane. Of course, Nardi not the best returner, definitely struggling against some of the bigger servers in the world, but Fields isn't exactly one of them. I mean, he is really good, but like he's not
Yeah, by
Hamad
the way,
Medjedovic from this event
talking
or Dominic
about
Stricker.
talking about what Ghost is saying, it's definitely interesting to watch how things change between some parts of the world and other. I have to be honest, here in Italy, nobody even knows what pickleball is. I'll be total honest about this. So yeah.
Yeah, Jane, because yesterday we had this stream with Miles and Anastasia, and Miles said that Beijing King basically tried to say that the reason that tennis is going to Saudi Arabia is because they have a very high percentage of young people in the
Yeah.
population.
Yeah, I
And
know.
yeah, that's just ridiculous. We
Yeah.
all love Billie King. She's done such. I mean, she's one of the most important figures in tennis for both what she did on the court and also off the court, and how she raised the women's game. But yeah, what she's been saying recently about Saudi Arabia, Jesus. I mean, just admit it's for the money. Anyway, Arthur feels 2 and up. Mario, maybe you can talk about paddle in Italy, and I'm gonna go take a bathroom break because finally, we have a break in this match.
Yeah, paddle in Italy. Live paddle, yes, in terms that when they are doing something in Rome at Foro Italico, where we have the Masters 1000 event, the crowd goes. But here, television, honestly, nothing comparable to tennis. Here in Italy, tennis is up there with football, with popularity. It's by far the second most followed sport in the country. Yeah, so far paddle is not really making the tennis shaking here in Italy. Absolutely, I have to say. I know I'm just talking about a national perspective, but that's how things are in Italy, if we are asking. Tension is about Sarah. Yeah, even if let's say that it's not, fortunately we are over that controversial stuff because it's put women's tennis on the map. Basically, put women's tennis on the map by partnering with the after mad science has confirmed the counter connection. Boomer liberals will be about the money. It's their religions.
That's actually incorrect, Jake. I'm not in my Tsitsipas era because I didn't prolong my bathroom break enough to,
Sure. Exactly.
miss the first point. I saw the first point, so I'm way better than Steph at taking bathroom breaks.
Yeah, here we are. Okay, so the situation is 2-1. Incredible for not incredible, super important from Nardi to hold.
No, I didn't text my dad in the bathroom. I heard him downstairs listening to some music, but I didn't text him or shout to him. So no.
I remember that period in which tennis biggest deal was that.
Yeah.
We were down bad, honestly.
And I actually think it's ridiculous that we have rules like, 3 minutes for a bathroom break, because things in the bathroom, they can go wrong sometimes. Whatever. I mean, there are different things to do in the bathroom.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah, it's pretty ridiculous that we have a set time for that. But I guess we have these guys, and how much they, well, mostly Tsitsipas, I guess, because it was the most high profile example to thank for that. Wasn't it like Bublik who said it at the net when some umpire was explaining the rules to him? Can't remember the match, maybe.
Probably. While here we have 2 break points and things can go definitely in Phil's favor if he
Ooh.
makes one of these 2 points. Let's see if Nardi can save himself.
Yeah, and of course, if we get a match like this where now Fuse breaks, takes it to the end, that second serve return that Mario really hated, and I did too, will be sort of the turning point and the most important one in the match. But let's see if Fuse breaks first. And I serve at the body from Nardi. I guess Fuse doesn't think it was in, but of course it's electronic line calling. Nothing you can do about that.
A second serve.
And yeah, Nardi seems like he's choosing the deuce side again. Oh, doesn't work because he doesn't find that plus that down the T first serve.
Nardi is resisting quite well in this rally. And in the end, he even gets the point. Yeah,
okay.
it's long.
That must have been very close to the line, but indeed it is long. I guess the previous deciding point also went Nardi's way, right? It was the
went Nardi's
third
way,
game of the third set. Yeah.
Again on the second serve, and again after a quite long rally.
How many aces does Fuse have? Someone is asking. If the flash scoreboard is right, he's got 4. Yeah, it's about right. About 4, definitely. Yeah, I'm not gonna elaborate on things can go wrong in the bathroom. Wow, that's I don't remember that, but if you say so, Ghosty, why not? Well, right now, Stefanos, of course, can just talk to his dad mid-match. Well, or more like his dad can talk to his can talk to him mid-match. So no issues like that anymore. So I guess both the bathroom break change and on-court coaching, well, are in a way really associated with Tsitsipas, although one doesn't help him at all.
Yeah, this point starts with a good return. Was really deep. Then Fields misses this forehand, but well played by Nardi here.
Have you been watching, by the way, with some any sound on or not?
Sound from you?
No. I mean from the from Jeddah, from the court. Have you been watching with sound on or not?
Yes, not not high, but yes.
Yeah, but can you hear clapping? What's the sort of crowd atmosphere?
Honestly, so.
Okay.
You can hear the kids, their
Did
voice.
he? Oh no, he didn't make it. Really? My
No,
eyes today have been horrible. I
no,
mean, my
no,
vision
no.
is fooling me time and time
uh,
again. Maybe I
yeah,
just
so
wanted it to be in because that would have
it's
been like
nice
shot of the
that
match.
it's nice that you can hear some kids' voices.
Okay.
But overall, the atmosphere is quite quite flat.
Okay. Yeah. After the first few shots that of the stadium that we got, certainly expected that,
How
but I guess recently more people
how
started
much
coming
is a
in.
ticket? No, Ghosty, I don't know how much is a ticket.
Oh, no
In
clue.
Milan, it was,
I
you
can
know,
try to look it up.
yeah.
How
Then
much
of
it was?
course it
Yeah.
it also depends on a lot of things. Not just the price in itself, but yeah.
Yeah, so for today's 28th is today, right? We can still buy the tickets for the evening session, I suppose. And it starts from 10 SAR and goes up to 40 SAR. I guess let's say adult, right? So adults is like 20, 40. Yeah, depends where you sit, from 20 in the corner to 40 in the mid. Let's see how much an SAR is,
Yes.
because I actually don't know. For Ghosty, we can turn it into dollars. Oh, it's super cheap actually. 20 Saudi reals are $5. So basically, the cheapest ticket for an adult in the corner is 20, and so $5. And then the one for the mid section, that's how it's called, is for $10. So yeah, super cheap actually. No, 20 was in SAR, yeah. So $5
Yeah,
for the
then
cheapest
then
ticket in the
as
corner,
I
10
said,
for the most
it also
expensive one. Yeah.
depends on the country. For example, here in Milan, it was not this cheap. You had to pay, let's say, 20 to 50 euros. But here we are in this kind of issue in Italy, that the price can even be 400 euros and the stadium will be sold out. And uh, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. But okay.
No, I'm a capitalist. Like, I just believe that if there's a Jesus, what do I want to say? Basically, that if there's a thing that someone wants to buy and there's a price and someone will pay the amount of money for it, that means it's fair. I mean,
Yeah, no,
the basically
that's true.
a thing is basically worth whatever
Yeah.
someone will pay for
Basically,
it.
let's say that in
So
Italy the proportion was
if they're
more or
sold out,
less half of the price that what you would have spent for the ATP finals.
I guess I was maybe looking for something like product or whatever, but yeah, if there's demand, if they sell out, that's fair. But yeah, even the Challenger in Cagliari that I've been to this year, 50
It was
euros
expensive. Yeah,
for the night session. Yeah,
it was quite expensive, I have to say. Yeah, I was
$50 for the
checking.
day session, $50 for the night session. I mean, that's ridiculous. And the night sessions were generally one singles, one doubles. Whereas, like, most people wouldn't even stay for the doubles because on some days it started at like 11 p.m. I also didn't
Yes,
stay because I wouldn't even have a bus to my Airbnb. So,
yeah.
yeah, that was really weird to me. But still, people came, so makes sense. Yeah, it's good that in Jedi this is so cheap. Frederick had a question. When did you guys start watching tennis? What is the first one you can remember watching? Can remember watching? I don't even know. But can remember watching like first ball to the last. It was the 2012 Australian Open final, and it got me into the sport. I know it was 6 hours, but I actually did just sit down and watched it.
What's
So
the question?
I was familiar. I'm gonna put it on the screen. I was familiar with tennis. I watched some tennis matches before that, but I didn't really, pay that much attention to it. I just saw it on the screen and I was like, yeah, okay, it's tennis, and I didn't really care for it. And that was the first one I really saw, like first ball to the last. It was that, like, it grasped my attention so much. And then also the Olympics Federer Del Potro semifinal that same year. Like, that was when I became like a massive tennis fan.
For me, well, actually, I'm maybe one of the few people whose first match I remember from first ball to the last ball, having watched it, was live in person. I mean, it
Okay.
was the Rome final in 2011. But
Djokovic
I,
Nadal, or
yeah,
what is
Djokovic
it? Okay.
Nadal. He was the
So it's also a
2011.
Djokovic Nadal match for you.
Yeah, it was that, I didn't even know that Djokovic was undefeated that year. I didn't know anything before that match, basically. But I remember something about, for example, Schiavone, French Open, because I remember that my dad was watching. And then I remember also something about Del Potro winning the US Open, because for my family it was quite of a big deal. And so I remember something also from that. But first match I really remember that I watched carefully, it was that final in Rome. Yeah, basically that one.
Yeah, Jake says that he wonders if he would have ended up being a huge tennis fan if Azarenka didn't win that very Australian Open. Yeah, and I felt like that when Federer retired, you know. If I don't watch that match against Del Potro at the Olympics, do I actually become a big tennis fan? You know, if there isn't a player who like is so entertaining to me as Federer was, do I become a massive tennis fan? And probably no. Honestly, probably my life would be looking like completely different right now. So that's something that I guess I will always be
I really don't know.
grateful for.
I really don't know, even because I was already playing tennis.
Oh,
Yeah, I started playing before I started watching.
no, okay,
Uh,
that's interesting. That was
at le-
definitely the other way around for me.
yeah. And so, basically, I've been brought to Rome also because I was, playing, and also, come on, let's go. It's a big event. My family brought me there. Yeah, but maybe I don't know why, because, but I don't know. I have no clue why I was not watching tennis.
Why wasn't I watching tennis from when I was a toddler? It was such a good
honestly,
sport.
honestly, I had no clue.
By the
Here
way,
we
I
have,
think we might be looking at some pressure points here. Yeah.
yeah, that's absolutely right.
As Fields just double faults to give Nardi his, well, I wanted to say his first breakpoints of the match. Of course, there was that awful game in the first set of the, in the fifth game of the first set. But since then, Nardi didn't really have any looks. I guess there was a fairly all as well in the previous Fields service game, but then he cleaned it up very
Oh,
quickly. But now, two
and
breakpoints.
that's the mistake with the forehand. So Nardi was first to say breakpoints earlier. I think no, it wasn't. But no, it was a
No,
deciding
he
point.
saved the deciding point. Yeah, he saved the
Yeah, you're right.
deciding point
That
with,
was the deciding point. Actually, with the second serve, with a great defense,
yeah.
and now he's serving for the set.
That
By the
was
way, just to
sudden.
last,
That was
uh,
unexpected. But
I remember me, since Djokovic won that match, and I remember me, I was not aware about the ranking, about how things were. I just remember that they were already 1 and 2, because I think that Djokovic was already 2 in the world at that moment. And so I remember asking my dad, it was, so Djokovic is now number 1. He won.
that's good. That's good. I mean, it wouldn't be long. It wouldn't be long, right? It was like what, maybe Wimbledon? I don't know. When did he get number
Yeah,
one? Was it Wimbledon? I think so. Yeah.
Wimbledon by reaching the final. The final result was already, not, let's say, important in terms of who was getting the number one after the match, because Nadal was, was the champion of the previous edition.
Yeah. 2010, one of his best seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, I would say that the pattern I'm watching this match is that when the general level goes up, Fields starts playing better and makes the difference. And when the level is a little bit more average, Nardi is more able to, also because Fields can become pretty erratic. Basically, Nardi is at least a little bit more solid, let's say, in terms of making some less mistakes, some fewer mistakes. But here we are 30 all situation. A great backhand down the line from Fields.
I guess quite a few of your first matches, Frederick, then were beatdowns, 6-love, 6-1 you say for Hingis, and also the Federer Agassi, in case you mean the final, because I think they played twice at that event, but the final was also very, very quick, like 6-3, 6-love, 6-4 or something like that. Yeah, quite a lot of beatdowns there. So it's good you stuck around to watch the more competitive matches. Although I guess Sharapova, Serena, Wimbledon 2004 was also actually well, it wasn't that competitive, but it was still a huge story, of course, for Maria to win.
Yeah, it was more of a huge story, more than even if I remember that second set things could have shifted, but yeah, it was a big story, and honestly, yeah, I was not there watching, but when I always think about that, I always think about, would have people thought that this rivalry would have ended up 2-20?
Yeah. No way. I mean, Sharapova even led 2-1, right? It's similar to Djokovic.
Yeah, because she won in the year-end championship
finals. Yeah,
WTA finals.
Yeah, she was 2-1 after the 2004 season, and then never beat Serena again. So it's basically like Djokovic Tsitsipas, except Djokovic is not at 20-2 yet. He's like at what, 11-2?
Yeah, but also except the fact that Sharapova is 5-time.
Oh yeah.
Champion, won once all the slams. She's one of the few which proved to be able to to express that level basically on every surface.
Yeah.
That's
level. True. I mean, that's an important difference. You're right. That Steph doesn't have a Grand
She's
Slam
been
title
number one
in
even if for a few weeks, but she's been number one in 2 different stints.
Yeah.
One in 2005 and one in 2012. So yeah, it's a bit weird. Even on clay, where Sharapova in that 2012, 2014, 15 was probably
best
the most
player on clay. Yeah.
In also that French Open final, it was close. It was a close straight sets one, but still, her haven't been able not even to push really Serena. I remember a final in Miami, also 2013, maybe it was. Sharapova was playing good, played well, won the first set, was probably even up a break in the second set, and then lost 6-love in the third. Definitely, a bit weird considering also what Sharapova achieved.
Yeah, you're right. That it was like bigger matches, when Steph beat Djokovic for the first time. It was Canada, right? This like random third round or whatever. And also in Shanghai, it also wasn't the final or a semi. So yeah, it is very different, but we might end up with a similar story there to go up, for Djokovic to be 1-2 down in the head-to-head and then maybe finish at like 15-2 or something. I'm assuming that they won't have enough time to play 22 times, just like Sharapova and Serena, but who knows?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, let's say that
good one as well.
Would need the two to reach those final stages in a quite consistent way. For example, this year Tsitsipas after the Australian Open hasn't really been able to do that quite consistently.
Yeah. I guess in 2022 they played 4 times. So, if they had 2 more seasons like that, then it's possible. But this year only the Australian Open final. Of course, the one of the 2 biggest matches that they played against each other. Jane says that she went away for a while, and then we have Nardi. It was pretty sudden for us as well. Just one more patchy game from Fields, and Nardi actually remains in the rally on the break point. Manages to get the forehand error from Fields, although this one was less. It was less flat than the forehand errors in the first set. I mean, you could actually see that what Fields is trying to do, and he was trying to find this sharp angle on the inside out. But still, of course, it takes us to the deciding set. And it's also good that even if Nardi wins this match, it won't be a story of, Fierce was so awful.
Yeah, sure.
Just like after the first set and a half, we sort of thought that, if Nardi wins this, we're just going to
Yes.
say, Fierce's head wasn't in it. He's actually in the match. We have a decent
Honestly,
quality
I
now.
was thinking that I don't have that
Fair.
many, strong memory from the last year editions. Yeah, probably. I remember that the final matches were a little bit disappointing. If I'm not wrong, it was, for example, was expecting a bit more from Draper, probably.
Yeah, I think the final was a bit of a letdown for sure,
also.
and maybe the semifinals as a whole. The group stage was cool because we got that
Group stage,
shootout
yes.
between
Yeah,
Draper Musetti. We had Striker play a ridiculous campaign. Also,
and
the
even
Arnaldi Passaro
exactly
5-setter, right? I mean, they were both eliminated, but I mean, what a match anyway. It's a shame that only one of them really followed it up this year. And I just think maybe the last few days of the event were.
Let's say that in my opinion, the biggest difference between the two is also that, in my opinion, Arnaldi has been more physically prepared also.
Passaro has had a few issues this year, but like he mostly like he could have really made he could have taken the next step if he just had any hardcourt results at the beginning of the year. And with how he played in the NextGen finals, Florence, Naples, you thought that maybe he could, right? And then he looked just very inadequate on hardcourts. And following up that clay season, the summer that he had with 5 finals, of course, was always not going to be easy. But physical issues played its part too, for sure. They played their part. There was a great point from Fields here, but it seems like Nardi is getting back on track. What happened to Passaro? I mean, he's been playing most of the season, but like had some minor physical things, and he is down to 200 in the rankings probably. There's no 203.
I'm looking forward for the post Big Three,
I guess.
Well, you're not alone. I mean, the thing I of course the big three era has been something incredible, amazing matches, finals, and all this stuff. But I feel like it has changed the whole perception about the game, the achievements, and I always read some comments. For example, there are really people who think on I mean that Twitter, but there are really people who think that, I don't know, Medvedev is a flop. How can you call a flop a player who won a slam, was number 1, 6 Masters titles?
It's good, Mario, that you missed this shot from Nardi, by the way.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
Oh, you saw it? Okay.
Didn't want to say anything.
Fair enough. Lots of questions coming in right now. I hope we answered more of that. Ghosty, just bugger off with that Agassi, deal. I don't care how I'm gonna put an accent to that. Most probably it comes from the fact that in Poland, we used to say it, differently because, at the time, no one really knew much about English, I guess, and a lot of the foreign names are still mispronounced.
This defense has been for sure
drawing out the error from Fils again.
There was a question it remembered me a little bit that I call that annoying defense that Hurkacz has sometimes. I call that a little bit annoying because sometimes he arrives everything and chops the ball. At times you get this ball.
Who was this point against this year? That 40-shot rally where he chopped it 4 times on the forehand side. And
Australian Open.
Maroshan.
Right?
No, Maroshan in Shanghai when Maroshan misses the volley.
Right. You're right. No, because I saw another one, but it was from 2020 maybe,
possibly,
which they did like one thing, that upper side of the screen, Urkac playing one rally, and at the same time behind that another court which a whole game was played during this 60, 65, 70 rally point.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean, but I can't remember who it was against now. Thoughts on Nakashima being coached by Puerta? I don't know if I have any. Honestly, Mariano Puerta is a player I never saw on court. I know he was a bit of a controversial figure, but yeah, I know. Of course, I know what he did. 2005 Roland Garros final. But yeah, I barely know him. Like, I watched some maybe bits of that final, so I really have no thoughts because I don't remember him as a player, don't know him as a person either. But well, I saw him right now in Danderyd a couple of weeks back with Brandon, but honestly, I couldn't even recognize him. He looks so different than when he won. When he made the final in 2005 at Roland Garros. I actually had to Google how he looks right now in order to make sure that it's really him. Yeah, no clue really. Brandon has never been a great clay courter from what I can remember too. Yeah, not at first, but he actually stuck with that. Like he's tried playing a lot of clay events, right? In like 2020, 2021, it wasn't working well. But now he's actually really good at this. Now he actually managed to get his clay game, of course, to a very high standard, despite the forehand, in the past maybe not being a shot that you can realistically be aggressive with on the surface. I think now it's definitely there's been even matches where it kind of takes over the dictating burden, let's say, from his backhand. So yeah, I think now he's actually really good on clay. In 2022 he already had a solid campaign. Of course, this year Lyon, which I think Ghosty mentioned as that match against Fils. So yeah, I think he's actually getting his clay game to be at a very, very nice standard right now, and I like that he stuck with it. He kept playing, which is also what Ben Shelton is, of course, doing. He didn't avoid it like all of the other Americans, really. By the way, something else that we had was the simplified scoreboard in the innovations list. How does that work?
I saw. Basically, they have some lights. It's a scoreboard with some lights, for example, 0, 15, 30, 40, and the right light turns on. And then you just have some balls here, some for the games and some for the sets, and that's it.
Wow. So maybe that's why Nardi was asking after that long break, was asking Laiani if it's 4-5, because he couldn't really read it from the scoreboard, I suppose.
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
that makes a lot more sense.
I mean, it's not that difficult, in my opinion, to read the scoreboard. At least even I don't think that it makes a great difference. That's what I was.
Yes. Anything else that we had to touch on? Probably. Oh, 2 more questions.
Maybe
dumb
simplified
question,
because
you
you have 0, 15, 30, 40. So basically, as long as you proceed, you are closer to winning the game. Maybe, I don't know, for the spectators, but yeah.
Maybe. 2 more things here. Dumb question, but why can you not see the crowd? I mean, definitely there's not a lot of light on it. Maybe it's on purpose, actually, because they can move freely on the sides, but also they're not showing it to us all that much because there's not much crowd to show, right? I mean, that's how it works. I mean, the TV crew is not going to show you the crowd if there's not that much of them, not that many of them. And who do you think has the biggest talent and career prospects between Nardi and Kobori? Tough to compare, right? I mean, indoors, I'm definitely expecting more from Nardi here. We talked about it at the beginning of the stream as well. But career prospects, I think it's pretty open. I would still go with Nardi, but both are like exceptionally talented in terms of like just natural skill. So yeah, I'm leaving that door open for Kobori.
I agree. Yeah. I just don't know why they don't update Koboli's page on the ATP website, which is...
What do you mean?
everyone was asking me, for example, when Kabali entered the top 100, everyone was asking me what's his height, because on the ATP it shows light, but I feel like he's actually taller than that. And then I went there, and definitely it's wrong that time.
Yeah, 5'8" probably not.
No,
Is
no,
he
no,
like
no.
my height more or less? I think so. Maybe, yeah. I can't remember. I mean, I stood next to him literally like 2 weeks ago, but he
Yeah.
was like probably more or less my height, I would assume. 5'8", no, that doesn't seem accurate anymore.
Even if, I mean, I have to be honest, it's the players, it's the players who basically, are, even for example, when people are complaining about the peak, it's the player who give the peak to the, the organization to put it.
Oh, Jake watching Dalian on another stream. Nice. Even on hard courts, you enjoy the who got Dalian forehand. I guess against Busa, yeah, he might have some time to dictate with it and construct the points his way. Frederick also another fan of the no ad scoring. I actually like it in doubles because, well, I'm not a big doubles guy, and like just knowing that the match has a bit of a cap in terms of the time that it can last is actually nice for me. I think maybe this is something that they should really push for in doubles as well, because of course it's not like the discipline as a whole is definitely not watched like at all compared to singles. So maybe they should really try there for like the quick points, just all excitement sort of packed up. And I guess the next gen finals is trying to do the same, but as a whole in actual tour tennis, I don't think we are gonna see it for a while. At least I hope that this is not one of the innovations that will actually get transferred to the main tour.
Yeah,
just sort of interferes with the tradition and with the scoring system, with the meta even a little bit too much. But for this 1 week event,
yeah,
that's fine.
it's okay.
Fine for me. Also, we know that there's not going to be more than 3 games from here. Still under the 2-hour mark, despite being in the 5th set. Of course, that's the fast for
Yeah,
format.
the longest one was maybe 2 hour and 35 minutes, something like that, I remember.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the the longest match ever played at the ATP finals.
Do you remember what it was?
Probably that. I wouldn't be surprised if it was that Musetti Gaston match, honestly.
Okay.
Both, for the players, and because I remember that there were a lot of rallies, long rallies, a lot of breaks also. It was definitely a nice one. That's why I remember it. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Definitely is one of is up there. Maybe if not the longest one, but I don't know if you will find it on the.
Yeah, it seems like you're right, because when actually Passaro Arnaldi surpassed it. It seems, or no,
okay.
was it? No, it wasn't It wasn't Passaro Arnaldi. It was actually Passaro against. No, against Arnaldi. Yeah, Passaro won that one. I thought it was Arnaldi, but yeah.
No, Arnaldi went love 3. Yeah.
Oh, it was Arnaldi who went love 3. I for some reason thought it was Passaro. But anyway, yeah, it was Musetti Gaston until Passaro and Arnaldi surpassed it. So
yeah,
we chatted about both matches today. So clearly they were memorable. Something interesting that I also just randomly bumped into. The longest match at the Next Gen finals last year was 217 points. And the longest match at the ATP finals was 216 points. So, if we get if we get 5 sets here, the formats can actually be very, very similar to each other. Oh, Rune wanted to get rid of the system. I didn't even know that.
Hmm?
The no ad scoring.
Yes.
No, I mean the other way around, of the
Yeah,
advantage
even if
scoring.
I mean, I also think that when you are in front of a camera and for a game, Tennis TV is asking you what is a rule. I mean, maybe you're not even that much convinced of wanting to do it. I don't know. Maybe you're just
Yeah, 40-15 feels looking to secure that deciding tiebreak.
Yes.
And he does with a great serve down the tee. So 3-2
Yeah.
feels,
Now,
and now it's Nardi's
yeah. For example, talking
job.
about for example, here I can't really understand what the conversation is about because I have the sound, but in the headphones I have our stream, of course. So
All right, guys. So Nardi, of course, about to serve 2-3
yeah,
down. We had one more question I see from Frederick. Do you think FAA will have a better season in 2024 and come back to the top 10? Better season, likely. Come back to the top 10? I would say no, but it's not out of the question, obviously.
yeah, probably I agree. Yeah, better season. I mean, it's not that
He's
difficult considering his qualities. He has all the
yeah.
qualities to do better than what he did this year, even if he saved a little bit himself with defending the Basel title.
Yeah,
Top
and he's also
10.
got this 500 points, until October. So he's gonna until November. Well, October, I guess, end of October on his ranking, right? I mean, just like this year. So he's gonna
Yes,
stay
yes,
up
yes.
in the rankings for quite a while. He's gonna have seedings. So yeah, I think he's probably gonna do a lot better
Yeah,
than
but
this year.
here I think that we have to be careful
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
because we have love 30 situation. So Fields is 2 points away from the win. He tries to defend. Good job here by Nardi. Nardi has this. He's quite good in doing this with the approach. I feel that he has quite a right sensibility in his game to be able to come to the net when the situation is comfortable and do it well. Nardi love. There's a lot of love for Nardi here in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. So Owen was there with like Fields. Oh, I mean Nardi better than Fields, etc. Yeah, maybe it's a bet. Sometimes you have people coming in who are really cheering for a player, understandably.
Eh,
We'll see.
here here Nardi really saved himself. He could have been, worse than what what it's been in this rally, 30 all.
Oh, yeah, Jesus, that's a bit of a mischance for Feast for sure. Yeah, after that smash, I don't know if even I could call it a smash overhead volley, I guess.
And here, well played.
Fields could have caught it for sure.
So game point, actually 2 game points.
Suddenly you're like really far ahead of me, it seems, but yeah, that's cool.
I'm really far ahead. Wow.
Yeah, suddenly. I don't know why. What changed, but yeah, great volley. Got himself out of that.
Match point.
Yeah, deciding point, match point. That's the
It's
beauty.
a match point, actually.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I guess also
It's either match point and game point for Nardi. Yeah. So
the pros and cons of the NOAD scoring system here presented. And will Nardi choose that deuce set again? It seems like yes, since Fields is going over there.
and it's over. Yes, it's over. With I don't know if you have watched it. Sorry.
Not yet, but I'm pretty sure I know what's gonna happen. Oh, actually no. Oh, it's a massive forehand return. I mean, by how quickly you said it, I thought it was a double
I
fault.
tried to. Yeah, because I tried to be with my voice. I was like,
Yeah,
but
and actually, Nardi chose the deuce set every single time. I guess never landed
No,
his first serve there.
he
right?
really did that celebration. Oh my god! What?
Which one, phone or?
No. It's Ronaldo.
Okay.
we are
the
in
shoe.
we are in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
so I don't
Oh
know. I
yeah,
guess
that
I got
makes sense.
this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's it.
that makes sense. Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a match I will remember for the rest of my life, but still, I had some fun because I find it a fun event. This one, I really like to watch them facing each other. Fields was the favorite before the match, and in the end, he won in 5 sets. So let's say that overall, good start in terms that a win is a win. Could have played a bit better. 13 unforced, 16 winners for him. Actually 7 double fault. I didn't notice.
Yeah, they weren't like too impactful for the most part.
Yeah. But okay, overall, he still raised his level when it mattered. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, someone earlier in the chat said that when they're like both at their peak, Fields has the bigger upside, and like that was really this in this match. Like he lost 2 sets
Yes,
because
exactly.
he had 2 weaker games, but when they were both playing well, then Fields was able to come out on top. Big opportunity for Nardi, that second serve return, absolutely. Like he should have been in the point at the very least there. He even stepped back to have more time with that kick, and he still didn't handle it. So yeah, that of course is something that Nardi Fields is doing it again, by the way.
And probably also that second that second serve return when Nardi had a set point can be a little bit of a disappointment in his mind. Yeah, still could have lost the point. But for sure he had the chance in that set point to do a bit better.
Yeah, 5 aces, by the way, a little troop, not 6 for Fields. And there was something else. Nardi with more winners and less unforced. I think he also probably won more games, right? Like 15. No, actually, it's 15 for both players. Yeah.
Yes.
But of course, the best of 5 format, the fast 4 scoring system as well, and we have Fields as the winner. I still think it's a deserved winner because, well, he lost the 4-4, but yeah, it was just like
basically
one game,
he went
one
for
game
it
here.
in the important moments. That's why I think that it's a deserved one in the end.
Yeah, I think it is a deserved one, but certainly quite tough for him here. A very important win because, as we said earlier, like if you lose to Nardi here and you have a matchup with Striker coming up, that's awful.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
something you definitely have to avoid. I mean, in that case, we probably could have had a situation where, well, maybe even Striker Fields get a shootout for second place, or maybe when Fields
Yeah,
gets
even
to
if
beat
I know.
Striker.
Yes,
So yeah,
exactly.
there was
Because
there were there was
yeah,
really lots of consideration here for Fields in terms of, yeah, if he loses this, he's in trouble. But he manages to stay alive and definitely looked a lot more positive after the first set and a half. Just engaged himself in the match and was actually determined to win it, and that's cool. But Nardi, great stuff. I mean, I think he has every chance of troubling Striker as well, and would be the big
yeah,
favorite over Koboli for me.
yeah. I mean, the performance he had. I mean, probably just some regret here and there, but overall, I think that he can be quite satisfied with himself and the match
Yeah.
he played overall. Yeah.
He delivered on that promise of being a threat to Nardi, to Fields
Yes,
and
exactly.
Striker. We'll see
Yes.
if Koboli does the same. I guess no one is really expecting it, but maybe he will. But anyway, now we'll have the chance to check it out. There's no stream for Striker, Koboli, or Van Schelbach, but of course, you guys keep watching the Next Gen finals. Mikkelsen Medjedovic, though, it seems like there might be a stream for that as well on our channel at the end of the day. So yeah, you can tune into that as well. And also, Frederick, that question about the WTA. Do you think WTA should play 5 sets at slams too? I would welcome it. I feel like there would be more classics coming out of that because every slam, I just feel like I remember 5 men's matches, most of them 5-setters. And yeah, on the women's side, it's like some great individual performances, but rarely there's a match that really catches my attention. I think this year, specifically, most of my favorite WTA matches of the year were all actually on the main tour, like just no Grand Slams really, like Świątek Sabalenka Madrid, maybe also Świątek's from with
Uh,
Garcia in Beijing. So
Actually, I have
yeah.
to say that the Australian Open final, in my
Oh, the
opinion,
Australian Open final. Yeah,
didn't
I forgot about
disappoint me.
that. You're right. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a
In
good
my
one.
opinion, I've noticed that on Twitter, the French Open matches like Sabalenka Mukova and Mukova Świątek are more popular. But for me, that US Open final was really good. US Open, sorry, Australian Open final, I mean.
Yeah, Australia, yeah, for sure. Roland Garros, I'm actually not that fond of these matches. I think there was a lot of drama, but the quality, the tension between Świątek and Muchova as well. Pavan, it was Fields who won. Fields won 4-2 in the 5th. And also, is there going to be a watch along for Striker? Yeah, no. But Jake says that he can see now. Yeah, Mikkelsen, Medjedovic, me and Vansh late in the day, the 4th match in Jeddah. So I'll be back, and yeah, thank you for today. Lots of good talk in the chat. Lots of good talk with
Damian.
Mario. Yeah, thank you, Mario, as well. Good talk in the chat. Good talk with Mario. Good match. So what's there not to like? See you guys.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Hi, Novak. I don't know if you saw what Vasek said last night about organising, and tennis could and should be even bigger than it already is. If only the people organising it were doing their job properly. He highlighted the balls, he highlighted playing late at night and then early in the morning and injuries. I just wondered whether you heard that, but also if you'd like to add something.
No, I haven't heard that. I actually saw Vasek just before I came here to see you guys, but I haven't seen his statement on that. But there's been a lot of discussions on the effect of the different balls and basically every week on the joints and the wrist and the shoulders and the elbows. And I think someone told me that in terms of injuries this year comparing to other years is drastically has gone up. So in terms of the balls, I absolutely agree. There should be some discussion on that. I actually spoke about that with Andrea Gaudenzi, the ATP president, and Massimo, who's the CEO, in Paris during the Paris-Bercy week. And I shared my opinion and my views, and then obviously they are thinking about various different options and ways of how to regulate that and how to make it better for the players and prevent injuries. In terms of the scheduling, I think there has been a lot of criticism and a lot of players complaining about it. So I think that should be addressed in a proper way. Obviously, Davis Cup and ITF is regulated differently from ATP Tour and from Grand Slams. You have different governing bodies, different schedules, different broadcasting demands. In the end of the day, we know that the TV is the one deciding, fortunately or unfortunately, but there has to be more, I guess, thorough discussions on that as well.
Ready? Play.
Welcome everyone. Let's start the press conference. Please, questions in English.
Yannick, thank you. Congratulations. This afternoon, did you play the match of your life? And what did it feel like playing that match?
Match of my life, I don't know, but it's for sure very, very important. As I say, it helps a lot the last competition, that is a team competition, and because you get a lot of energy from your teammates, from the whole team, and then the crowd is different. And I really enjoyed playing today. It was a great match. I started off really well, and obviously in the second set he raised his level, and the third set I just tried to hold my service games and waiting for a good opportunity, which arrived on 5-all, and I took it. And obviously it was a very crucial match for the whole team, and at the end of the match I was really happy for the team to be at least able to play a deciding doubles, and we played really good, and I think it was a really positive day today.
Yannick, I just wanted to ask you about the 3 match points that you saved at 4-5 in the third set in the singles. Can you just talk us through what was going through your head? How did you remain calm in those moments, and what were you trying to do in each of those points?
I know that it was a really important, obviously, important game. We changed not for so long for new balls, so I knew if I'm gonna serve well that maybe I have some free points. But I had to stay in the present moment. It was love 40, and he missed a quite easy backhand, which gave me a little bit of confidence and belief. And then after I served twice, really good. And nothing, after this kind of games, you your energy level and then mental level, it's racing, and I think this helped me today.
Yannick, over here. I'm not sure anyone else can maybe say they've beaten Novak Djokovic twice in one afternoon. What does that achievement mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. Obviously, before the match, we were talking that it was a really important test today. You know, trying to understand what to expect before the match, and then I think we made a good tactical moment also before the match, and obviously playing it is a little bit different. But I think I have to be really proud about how I handled the situation. And as I said, I'm just very happy for all of us, for the team, and tomorrow we have a great opportunity. We know this, but in the other way, we will try to stay as relaxed as possible. You know, keeping the smile in our head, which is important also, and then also to be happy to be here. No, it's not so many. For me, it's the first time that we can play a final in Davis Cup, which it means a lot for us.
One last question in English.
Yannick, just looking forward to the final, and to the other guys, please, as well, and the Australian team that you're facing in the final. You'll be playing De Minaur, presumably, in the second match, and you've got this extraordinary hold over him. I think he's only going to take one set off you. How much of an advantage do you think that is for you, and what confidence does that give you?
Well, we don't know who is going to play.
Se ti faccio giocare.
Yeah, we have to decide. We have to. You know, I have a lot of hours in my leg. This I know. If I play against him, it's gonna be different. You know, finals, as I said, it's always different. But let's see. It's his decision. He's the captain of the team, and so he can answer you that.
What do you say?
Thanks, Yannick. No, obviously it's our point of power. Yannick give us a lot of energy, give us a lot of confidence in ourselves. Obviously, he's a great player, but he's not only a great player. So he's a great person. That's what I like. So yeah, he's probably in the first position to play tomorrow.
What do you think of the Australian team?
Strong, different. Different from Serbians. Maybe closer than Netherlands as singles and doubles. But still, we have to take care of us, thinking about tomorrow, enjoying today, but focus for tomorrow. So head to tomorrow.
We switch into Italian. Per favore, domande in Italian.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.